text and drive in Wisconsin anymore, at least not legally.
But a Fox 6 investigation finds police are having a hard time enforcing the new law. See what Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson found that no one expected, not even the lawmaker who authored the bill.
Hey, Brad and Ann, what do you think I'm doing right now? Does it look like I'm sending a text message, maybe dialing the phone, surfing the internet? You can't tell, can you? Neither can police.
Roger, emergency.
When a driver spotted this Delta 88 swerving its way through Brown Deer,
And he's just weaving all over the place.
Car said that the subject is weaving.
police dispatched a squad car.
For a possible OWI.
But the officer who stopped the car was in for a surprise. The driver wasn't drunk.
What reason why you're all over the road? You were in my lane.
Oh, because my sister had texted me some disturbing news, and I was like, whoa.
He was texting behind the wheel.
It certainly can look very similar.
Brown Deer Police Lieutenant Lisa Cumbir says this is the only texting ticket her department has issued since the law kicked in December 1st. The State Patrol has written one also. Kenosha Police 1, and the Kenosha Sheriff's Department 3. But of the 12 departments we polled, 8 have yet to write a single texting ticket. Why?
Texting or emailing on the phone looks very similar to dialing on a phone.
Because the law is hard to enforce.
Hey, a little more.
To illustrate the point, the Fox 6 investigators took hidden cameras on the road, recording driver after driver after driver looking at their phones instead of the road.
They just don't realize that when they take their eyes off the road just for that split second, something may happen.
What's she doing? She's looking down.
Watch this driver's eyes as she navigates through rush hour traffic in a construction zone. She glances down 16 times in 20 seconds, then finishes off with a puff of her cigarette.
So you figure at least 8 seconds her eyes weren't on the road at a minimum.
But is she texting while driving? Impossible to say, since we can't actually see what it is she's looking at. And even if we could, the new law only prohibits you from sending text messages. You're still allowed to read them, dial the phone, scroll through contacts, check your calendar, or surf the internet.
Even reading your text messages can certainly create a problem and cause you to deviate and take your eyes off the road.
But we found yet another exception to the law, something so unexpected, the man who wrote the bill didn't even know about it.
I was startled to learn that.
According to these police training memos in Milwaukee, Brookfield, Racine, and Kenosha, texting while driving is only enforceable when a vehicle is in motion. That means you're still allowed to text at stop signs, stop lights, even in heavy stop-and-go traffic.
Never did we anticipate that in bumper-to-bumper traffic it would be interpreted that that would be allowed.
Kenosha Representative Peter Barca says they wanted to make sure it was okay for drivers to text behind the wheel, but only if they pull over first.
That's the responsible thing to do.
So they use the word driving instead of operating. Now it appears that language may have backfired.
Clearly, I think the legislature would not have passed it in this manner had we thought it would ever be interpreted to include stop and go driving.
So while texting and driving is technically illegal in Wisconsin, it seems about the only way for police to ticket you
And I was like, whoa.
is if you admit you were doing it.
It is challenging, and it's just a tool that we're going to have to utilize in some instances, crashes, certainly serious crashes.
And there's little doubt that texting is contributing to serious crashes. A study published in November in the American Journal of Public Health shows how a rapid rise in texting volumes in the U.S. correlates with an alarming increase in distracted driving deaths.
Just had a person hit by a car on 97th and National.
But even in the case of a fatal crash,
We're going to need help here real quick.
it's hard to prove texting is to blame.
It happened so quick and right in front of me, I couldn't even believe it.
Just 2 days after the new law took effect, Linda Zidek was crossing National Avenue in West Allis when a Toyota Camry sent her body hurtling through the air. The impact killed her instantly.
Not moving whatsoever. No. Gone.
19-year-old Sarah Malachnik never hit the brakes.
I just miss her a lot.
After the crash, police found outgoing text messages on Malachnik's phone.
That leads me to believe that there's a possibility, a strong possibility, she was doing something other than paying attention to her driving.
The last one was sent at 4:50. The first medical unit was dispatched at 4:56.
It's very hard to prove, but those times are also very close.
Prosecutors charged Malachnik with driving on a suspended license causing death, but they could not prove texting was a factor. And even if they could, the DA's spokesman says the new law wouldn't have mattered since it was already a crime to kill someone through negligence. Which begs the question then, what's the point of the new law?
Just by virtue of the fact that people are generally law-abiding citizens, I feel quite confident that already people have probably started to curtail their behavior.
Representative Barca says self-policing goes a long way, and he expects enforcement to pick up as police become more adept at spotting it.
And he's just weaving all over the place.
Either way, he says it's an issue that's too important to ignore.
Hopefully, increasingly, people will be more sensitive and just quit doing it.
She's missed tremendously.
After his sister was killed, Larry Edwards found himself dialing her number every couple of days.
You called the answering machine?
I did, just to hear her voice.
What did she say on her answering machine?
Hi, this is Linda. Please leave a message.
And a phone number where you can be reached, and I will get back to you as soon as possible.
Now he's leaving a message for you.
When you're driving, you should be driving.
Thank you. God bless and have a great day.
Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark made waves back in December by vowing he was going to confiscate drivers' phones if they're suspected of texting and driving. It's unclear if he or his deputies can legally do that without a search warrant, but so far it's been a moot point. A sheriff's spokeswoman tells me they have yet to write a single texting ticket in Milwaukee County or confiscate a single phone.
You know, this is so timely. About 3 weeks ago, I was driving along and I wanted to check something on my calendar on my iPhone. And I was driving along, I was looking at that, and I thought, well, first of all, I shouldn't be doing this. And then I thought, am I even allowed to do that, or is that illegal? I had the very same question.
And again,
surf or text?
According to the texting law, that's legal, but it is clear to point, or important, I think, to point out that while anything that takes your eyes off the road can be dangerous, it's also important to say that even though some of those other things are not covered by the texting ban, they still fall under the larger category of inattentive driving, which was already illegal before this. And again, some people ask the question then, well, why was this necessary? Is it more symbolic than specifically effective? That's maybe a question that's still up in the air.
That word driving is the key. Can they change that maybe and make it operating?
Representative Barca told me they're already looking at the possibility of a follow-on bill to at least close up that part, that loophole in this law.
Wow,
we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Brian.
You got it.